Game on here, Stadium Field, into the women's division. A classic matchup, the French and the Italians. France get first look at the offensive possession. Gascon sends back to center. Zone from the Italians. And the French taking their time, 2 bid in the crash there, and a little bit of space opens up to take some meters. Effective around. And handlers happy to manage amidst themselves. Gascon gets it on the sideline. Centers, the defense comes, but is too late there. Couple big windups. Oh, and Mondiaux, Rasta grabs one in traffic, rips it over the entirety of the defense. Foul called as the defender had to go over top to get a swipe at it. I'm joined here with Hillary Humes. Once again, we've just jumped into our Matter transporters from the other field and made our way here. And after Mondiaux gets away with an errant throw, it looked like a very good throw that was fouled on. It was contested and back to her. And the French playing around with this zone as it melts into an individual, a match defense, and Gascon bails out a throw that went over the shoulder and gets it to Mondiaux. Mondiaux shoots for end zone, has her target. The French get on the board first. Berthet, the big target from Grenoble, gets the French on the board.
Whew. Stefan, this is going to be a good game, isn't it, Jess? You know both sides pretty well, don't you?
I've seen a whole bunch of both now. I've seen a bit of the French unit play within the women's division. I was coaching in this year, so I've had a good look at most of their roster. I've seen how they operate. I saw them at Tom's. The Italians, of course, I saw at Tom's, and throughout last year they were where they were the champs, as shout Bologna. A big core of that roster making up the Italian squad, as a big core of Yaka makes up the French squad, but not quite as much. The French squad is a bit more shared around. And of course the storyline there with Mondiaux playing Rasta as she rips there, playing with Shout to win their championship last season, so she knows a thing or two about how the Italians operate. Diaz with the disc. Gets the up line, cut, and a cheeky throw over, then shot to end zone. Match looks to favor the French, but 2 Italians share the catch. Irena Scazzieri steals it from her teammate, Battistini, who was going down. A conversation about who hit what and what happened to who, whose feet were in. Sounds like they're saying yes, it's a catch, but not quite a goal. Disc is in. Now on the goal line, looking for something, gets a reset after a little bit of checking. Diaz gets it. Poised to attack here are the Italians. Farolfi gets, she had an incredible game last time we saw her play. Coming back against the Swiss, Diaz to Farolfi. Now on the doorstep, popped in for a goal. The Italians answer and hold their point.
Tight game. It's going to be neck and neck. It's what I'm anticipating. It'll be tying between lots of points here and there. But as you say, Mondeo has played with the Italian side before, so she might have a little bit of inside scoop. And what do you think that may be, Stefan?
The inside scoop, geez, of how the Italians operate. I don't know. It could be how they call their plays, their ones, twos, what they may mean. Possibly just their tendencies or players to shut down. Is it, take the Scazzieri sisters out from downfield and do this, or, try and limit their handling, limit their touches through Farolfi, Ceschi. Who knows what she knows, but playing with the team does, having a look at the workings of their inner organs is certainly good when you're trying to dissect. And the French off and running. Le Bon anchoring this handling set, but a few passes later, and that one sails out of bounds over the head of René. And another D straight away. French get it back. Mondio picks up, centering. Le Bon. French back and forth around this cup. Le Bon getting every second touch, keeping it on this side. Assassination on Mondio right now. They've got a player-to-player mark on Mondio. She's being watched around this zone. I love an assassination play, and Mondio's doing just the right thing, keeping her in space, but the other popper's got to work. Oh, and speaking of the assassination, Mondio put the brakes on, and there was a head to back of head collision, possibly a tooth holding a face and holding the back of the head. Let's hope everything's okay at field level. Everybody's up and okay after the collision. French retain possession. Bruni kicks it into play here. Le Bon. Nanu as she goes by. To Carlos. She breaks through the zone, gets centered there, and is held up, dumped back to Bruni. Swipes, Kaulas. Laborn, Kaulas, 1-2ing. A flick into center there. And the French are looking very patient here. No rush, that one squeaks through to get it to Bruni to continue, and now Kaulas stays in the zone until it crashes. Laborn gets some space on the sideline. Kaulas has all the room in the world. The dump swings are given here with this defense that did have an assassination. It's gone back to a full zone, and now they're in man match. Woman to woman, rather, defense. Bruni gets the disc. Scoring sets should be developing here. Shot for goal. Kaulas is there. Second effort. Keeps her toe. Goal for the French.
She celebrates to confirm that it was in. She tiptoed the line and gets it on that second catch.
French go up on the Italians.
A patient run for them on that zone defense play. And with Mondio out, I wonder if that changed the dynamic of the zone for the Italian side because they didn't have that assassination.
Yeah, it would have. I actually didn't notice how they fell back in there as Mondio was the injured player who left, and the defense was designed to stop her specifically. It looks like they settled into a zone with 3 mids and kept a flat cup up front to prevent any metals, anything going through, but the side-to-sides were being given. French pull for Rolfi, sets under. Coletti. Bruni with big chase. Gets a D for the French. Laborn picks up. Bruni comes under. Bruni's everywhere right now. High stall count. Shot straight in front for a goal. The French have some momentum right now, early in this game.
The first break of the game and the French are up. Will we see this come through? Yesterday we saw, you were actually commentating on quite an impressive game, Italy versus Switzerland. And they went down quite a fair bit, didn't they, Steph?
4-1, if my memory serves, and they did win that game. They played great. They played great from behind, and they really took it in small chunks at one point at a time. They found bits and pieces of momentum, but in the end, the tide swung in their favor, and they got the win.
And I think that's what we can be sure of here is even if Italy are down, they're still in it. They're comfortable in that position, and they know they can get back on top. So for France, they need to be always conscious of what they're doing. This isn't a comfortable lead by any means. It's just a little bit more.
The Italians, on the other hand, need to walk one in. Let's see how they go. Same offensive set we've seen a few points in a row here. Scazzieri, strong hands. Didn't see their first cut, now continuation. Vandelli, continued again. Farolfi now, only meters away, but on her sideline. Diaz is dancing. Continued again. Kelezzi. A lot of traffic in the middle there. Goes the break side and gets Battistini, but there's a pick on the play, and the Battistini goal never happened. Kelezzi. Farolfi, clap catches at her knees. Farolfi gets Diaz on a dump. Kelezzi, it goes off the hand and gets away. The Italians patiently marched all the way to the goal line and then watch it slip away from their handlers' grasps.
Their offense was so clean right up until they got to the end zone. And that's where calamity came. And there was chaos.
French coming the other way. Ooh, that was into a small space there indeed. Upfield, Gascon takes it high with 2 hands. Looks to continue quick, but hasn't seen anything she engaged in that she liked until then. Wind up. Popped over top and floats away. Defender Battistini gets the touch.
A risky shot there with a tight Italian defender in front.
Kelezzi throws to Farolfi. Farolfi's got it red. She's in the goal. She puts it down with a very, I've got this one covered spike. Minimal celebratory. Let's just, all business here for Farolfi.
In points like that, you just wonder, you know, it's the Italian side, they walked the disc all the way up to the end zone line. It turned, then they got it back, and all it took was just one excellent shot to score. Sometimes it feels like you do so much work to only then be sent back and have to do just one thing. That's just a matter of this game.
Just proves how effective hucks are.
It certainly does.
High percentage. High percentage options. Chesky sets the pull a sail. French coming the other way. Mondial, this is her first bit of action since getting tumbled into. Le Bon. Rico. Italians continue to opt for the zone. French continue to take their time. That one through the middle, René. To Rico. Kaulas tries all her options. Berthe. Rico. Kaulas. French staying very, very patient. And finding holes just like that. Knee slide for the catch. Back to Rico. Berthe. And a space for Kaulas. Gatsiri almost had a sniff of it. And you see Mondial down the other end of the field getting the assassination. She just says, fine, I'll take myself out of this. 6-on-6 zone is even easier, and then I'm going to be there for the continue. Oh, that one too far from Berthe. And now the French play on defense. Pancotti and Grasta running circles as Mondial trying to get that block. Fuentes gets. Defense is tight again. Arzazi sends to Scazzieri. Sofia Scazzieri, Barzazi. Shot for goal, Fuentes is there, Chesky behind. Chesky reads it over the head of Laborn. Cashes in a goal, it's all tied up at 3s.
What a turn for the Italian side. It's just a sign of how good they are. When they get an opportunity, they're going to take that and use it for what they can. I loved how Mondio was, as you say, she was being assassinated, so she just took herself out of that situation, gave up that space, and allowed her team to just play through. She was going to have a marker on her the entire time. So instead of causing more chaos, she just said, nope, I'll sit deep and be that secondary continuation cut.
I always like when we have a player being assassinated to tell them to go follow the deep around. So you've got somebody following you, and then you go follow their deep, and you can kind of gobble up 2 players in one. It doesn't always work, but if they don't adapt and make the deep, run back away, you can spread the field reasonably well from an attacking point of view and leave an open deep option on the other side. Chesky to pull, tied up at 3. French have a small run, Italian have a small run. What will happen next? Mondio centers to Milou. Centered again, Berthet. Milou. Marion. Shot deep there. That's gonna make it to the end zone, but not before the Italian player can. Berthet and Scazzieri, she says, come closer. Let's see if she floats it up for the taller receiver. Or she wanted it, but there was a slip on the cutback. Now she does put it up. Berthet over Scazzieri. Second effort available, but still not able to clutch it tight.
Scazzieri doing an incredible job to just pluck that disc just a little bit too far out of reach. And the Italians now have another chance.
Italy. I think this is the first look we've had at Niceto since her run-in with Mondio, so good to see both those players are back in the game. Niceto. Upfield, too far in front. The layout was there. Bounou, not at fault. That throw, not quite on. Mondio wants the disc. No surprise there. Cuts generate. Mondio wants it again, gets it. With the falling layout, Berthet now on the doorstep. The cut did open up. The throw didn't go. Mondio covered tight by Bounou. Throw into a small area, and then she tried to do it again, and the defense closed it down. Shaz with the D.
Something I'm noticing with the French side is they're very safe with their throws. Initially,
oh goodness, Scazzieri gets up with a beautiful one hand. Now Pancati's got Barzazzi all alone for the finish. What a grab. Chesky wound up and unleashed a cannon. It almost cut the fingertips of Scazzieri's hands off. It was coming in so fast. She managed to collect, and what a goal in the end.
What a phenomenal play that was. A big huck down the field, spreading the Italians and the French so far.
Unbelievable grab. Sofia Scazzieri.
She is incredible.
Sorry, here is Chesky. Wind up. Look at, she knew she won that back end. Flat line drive. Defense there. She gets it as high as she possibly can. And the continuation, fantastic. So the Italians 3 in a row now. Take the lead. French calling a timeout.
Well, Steph, what I was noticing before was the French are doing a really good job in offense, moving the disc up the line. They're choosing really safe, smart options until they get close to the end zone line. by which point they sort of start to clamp down on trying to force things, finding those small pockets to shoot into. And it's both an element of the handler decision and the cutting options that are available, neither of which are 100%, which is where Italy has been able to capitalize and get 3 points in a row. We knew this was going to happen. We said this from the beginning of the game early on. Italy are not afraid of going down. They're very comfortable in that position. They know what they're doing and they can always fight back. They have such fire within them.
Indeed they do, and they've shown it already. Now it's time for the French to respond. See if they can show their mettle. They had a difficult run at Tom's tourney. Not able to cash in too many W's. They've had a much better start to this tournament, though some games have faltered, and a great opening to this game, but now they've got to stop the bleeding and keep it tight.
Steph, what do you think they would be saying down
Yeah,
there?
let's stick with our offensive set. What is our plan? Right now there's no need to panic. There is no panic. They have to just reset, recalibrate. All right, guys. All right, ladies. We know what to do. Let's do it. Answer the door. Some reminders of routine, reminders of simplicity. Kaulas picks up, zone, set, and it looks like it is an assassination again. This time Scazzieri on Mondio. And high stall count jacks it to get out of trouble. And she gets bailed out. It's counted, and the French have another chance. That had all the makings of a turnover. The French switch to a match defense. That nullifies the Mondio assassination, and she has the disc. Diaz has gone down in a collision. She'll catch up to Bruni. Disc is in. Laborn and Mondio playing a 1-2 game. They're happy to do that. They're Yaka teammates indeed, but Laborn finishes to Bruni. The French do indeed respond. They do make it clinical, and we've got ourselves a good one here, Hillary.
Yes, Steph, that was it. A better point from the French side. They were patient. They were waiting for those right options to come and present themselves in that end zone line. It's no need to rush. Italians have such a tight defense. So when you have such a small margin to throw and you see somebody, if you see an Italian player right on the hip of your teammate, I wouldn't be putting it there. I'd be waiting for that player to get free or finding another option. I'm feeling the wind is picking up. And so we'll see if that will change the nature of this game. Some of the passes had been high, lofty Hail Mary shots when there was a high stall count before. And the Italians did such a good job to start that off early, like run down on defense and get a high stall count on the French side.
The zones will be assisted for sure with the wind picking up, as we say. See how the French come out in D here. Pull by Bruni, floating beyond center. Pancotti picks up. A match defense out of the French. They stay in the match. Farolfi gets it with Laborn on the mark. Kelezzi gets the around. Now Scazzieri. Now it's shot to end zone. The defense helps efficiently, and the French have a look at it. Wolf comes under, safe with two hands. Continues to Bruni up the sideline. Bruni fires the big one. Irena Scazzieri cuts down the angle and gets the D, and the Italians go again. French trying to jam it up the line there a bit too aggressively.
Scazzieri is such an agile player on the field. You'll see her positioning herself in a way where she's always open to any disc that comes up.
Ceschi Farolfi here. They've got an all-star line out here, do the Italians. Irena Scazzieri, Chelezzi, Pancotti. Here's Ceschi coming under. Bruni with a great, excellent mark on her. Ceschi, Farolfi. Farolfi, head nods, a lot of head nods for the communication here. Yes, you go deep. No, I'll come under. All right, Ceschi says. She's got it back to Chelezzi. The marks loosen up now to Diaz. That one goes over the head. French get another chance. Laborn to Bruni. Goes over her head. Defense gets in front. Diaz gets the interception. Farolfi, Pancotti, 1-2. And then the 3 for the finish. Bunu in the end zone. The Italians take the lead back, going 5-4 up.
Such a swift change of pace. When the Italians get an intercept, they have no slow reaction whatsoever. They are just willing to change pace and go into offense. That was incredible play. And I watched the French side just slowly react as they were like, oh, we're in defense now, quick. The player that missed that pass was hanging way far back. That was a great grab in the end zone.
Vandelli, it is, not Bunu, Vandelli with the goal. Ceschi ready to pull for the Italians. Out in front, 5-4. We've got a good game on our hands here. See how the French react. Around and about for now. Chaz centering Milou. Marion. To Berthet. Marion, Milou, same names backwards here. Chaz gets it. They're really going around the horn. And the return throw goes to turf. Ceschi picks up Pancotti and Ceschi, all sorts of room. And the easy score to Sofia Scazzieri. Italy up 6-4.
Italy have found their groove, haven't they? They're just waiting for the French side to make an unforced error and then hit them with their pace.
Their transition is quick and concise, and you're right, they are pretty happy to say, let's just make these French, we'll give them easy throws, but we'll make them have to go side to side, and we'll play our chances here. We'll play the numbers. The more they get to throw, the more likelihood there is going to be one errant pass, one, bobble drop. And they got it there that time for sure, that time early in the sequence. Mondio picks up. Kaulas. Richon. Laborn back to Richon. To Kaulas in the corner. She puts a big one. Bruni is there Defense swats over top. Barzazi in good position to shut that one down, but Bruni still made a pretty good read at it. Defense had just too much position while going forward. Now Chesky gets the disc. Oh, and an errant throw from Chesky. Mondial directs traffic, pushes her stack to the other side of the field, sets it into play for Richon. Laborn, Kaulas, back to Laborn, back to Richon. And the Italians go back to the assassination. Clever in transition. Richon, Bruni. Bruni, of course, an Italian playing against her home country. She's now taken home in Paris, but an Italian native. Richon to Bruni. French staying patient. Richon. Oh, that one between two targets, and the defense cleaned it up. Oh, and a couple short possessions. Bruni gets it from Mondial, wants it back, gets it back. Mondial surely wanting to finish this point. She goes deep, has two chances at it. The Vanina on the way up had a better look. And the second chance on the layout going to ground was never going to happen, but good effort at it anyways.
Just watch her, Mondio breaking her mark.
Oh, losing balance this way and that as the disc took a ride with the wind there, moving just a little bit more than the intended. Pancotti breaking ankles, but in a fouling manner that time, unintentionally, of course. Rene finds the ground. Pancotti thumbs into the rim of that disc to keep it alive. Up line for Chesky. Everybody's going when Chesky gets the disc. Scazzieri is there. She's got space. Vanina tips it, but not enough. Scazzieri to Fuentes for the goal. Chesky just grabbing the disc and winding up. She is very aggressive on the front foot right now, and the French need some answers.
So a timeout is called. And the French just need to reset a little bit. Find the groove that they had at the beginning of the game. Taking those smart options, finding the gaps. They have a huge depth of skill in their team. But I think it's an element of reacting a little bit quicker when the transition comes to switch to defense. Not giving Italy those options with unforced errors or high lofty throws. The wind is picking up a little bit. It's not too bad at the moment, but down on field, we see discs go up and it can just be a minor gust that can take a disc away. The Italian side is such a quick fire team. They have such great chemistry and synergy amongst them. It's hard to break down.
Farolfi to Diaz. And the French coming out with a new look on defense. I'm excited to see that. Something's got to give. Taking away the front space. I think what must have happened was a halftime. Kelezi goes around. Diaz. And this flat front of the French, so far effective, keeping anything from upfield. Side to side, Kelezi to Diaz again. Bit of an arrowhead to it. Over top of the far side, Farolfi gets it. Scazzieri had some space, but opted away from. Oh, that one over Scazzieri, but she gets it on the turnaround. Looked to goal right away. Now trying to engage Farolfi, gets Diaz instead. Diaz goes other way, and it's caught going to ground. Italians score again.
They dispersed so slowly, I was wondering if there might have been a call. The Italians so confident and calm amongst that flat forced defense from France. It slowed them down a slight bit. What it did was it stopped those big hugs they so often love to use. There's so much more in that bag of the Italian side that they can whip out. And we see them now up 4 points.
Italy indeed whipping it out. If we do our simple math, that 3-1 lead has evaporated into what is a 7-1 run for the Italians since then. The momentum clearly shifted. The French defense looked quite good for the bulk of that point, but couldn't control it the length of the field. The Italians' patience, a couple crafty throws to break over top and around. And the French will have to send an offensive unit out there once again, just scratching their head, looking for ways around. They got to walk one in here.
How many points in a row has that been for Italy?
Sequentially, I'm not exactly sure of when France's lone goal in that run has been, so I'm not sure. 7 of the last 8, but I'm not sure where the break was. It was tied at 4 apiece as well, so since then at least, it's been 4 in a row at minimum. Shaz with the disc. Italians, of course, happy to stay in the defense that's been working so well. Shaz gets a backhand over that got a little extra float, but counts. Marion. Milou. Marion again.
Mondio is trying something different here at the moment. She's not sitting deep back.
That one a bit of a speculative. Now a big shot. Mondio, the intended receiver, but Barsazzi, the bigger body, gets up first. Ceschi, Pancotti. Pancotti, you see the French there were just, they wanted to get it in Mondio's hands so bad that it went there. Bounou now. Gascon almost a chance for D. And the continuation too far in front of Bounou, not even a chance to lay out for it. The throw was well in front. Mondio picks up the disc. Will she get it back now with Flores has been assigned the job of don't let Mondio touch the disc. And the Italian zone settles around the rest of the French unit. Bounou on the mark. Gets the around. Marion. Milou to Shaz. Over top there. Nice one to Milou. But the French don't have many options besides the dump. Italy gives it, saying, all right, here's your dump swing. But the continuations are so minimized. Now there's another one that tries to go to Mondio again, just straight over our cameras there. But Fuentes with the better position. It didn't come far enough for Mondio to have the advantage.
I'm just not sure the French side understand that Mondio needs to just be out of that space entirely. Don't try and risk it by trying to pop up a shot to her. But they're not breaking down that cup quite enough. They're not running through to disturb the defense.
Oh, Niqueto throws the body on the line for naught. With her not able to squeeze the hand on that, she may have been out of bounds even if she did. And now a never-in call. Niqueto's come off the pitch and injury substitutions are in. French taking back the meters they lost. Shot to goal, 2 receivers there. They get one. The French stop the bleeding after a huge Italian run. They're back on the board. It's 8-5, still in favor of the Italians.
Cutting it fine though. That disc was so close to the ground. Mondio wants the disc, but there's so much riding on her because the Italians are deliberately trying to take her out. She's the biggest threat on the French side. Would you not agree, Steph?
Absolutely. She's the heartbeat of the team. She's the heartbeat of French. Ultimate to some end as far as the women's division is concerned. She's the captain of the team. She's got the veteran savvy. She's got the swagger. She's got the winning pedigree. They definitely want to centralize her where possible. Let's see if the French come back to the zone they showed last time as we hear the jingle music going. This will be the last point, I believe that means. Farolfi, Diaz. Diaz to Farolfi. Back to Diaz, back to Farolfi. A tighter cup we even see out of the French here. Up, that one up and over. Oh, the throw was on, but not able to close her hand. Vandelli. Laborn picks up for the French. Bruni comes under. Waiting for development, and the around comes Scazzieri there. Laborn was the bigger receiver, got her hand there, but couldn't make it work. Kelezzi took a look at Scazzieri, didn't take it. Then Farolfi didn't like that she was being looked off. Now she gets it deep and she's in the right space. Got looked off under, ended up collecting it deep. When she collected it deep, it counted for more. That's 9-5. And that should be the end of our game. Italians finish what they started there. Farolfi collects the last goal of the game winner. The Italians outclassed the French there, a bit more speed, a bit more refined in this edition of Italy versus France from Windmill 2019.
Yeah, the Italians, never the underdog. They were always a star side, but I thought this game was going to be a little bit tighter, but both teams playing incredibly well, and I loved what we saw out on the field. Everyone putting their body on the line. Well, plenty more games ahead of us today, so stay tuned for more action.
I've been Steph Rapazzo with Hillary Humes. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.